Hi, this is Chagre from Bike Talks. Today I will provide you with the various tips to diagnose and resolve the real causes of the issues that we all encounter while riding bicycles, which may affect our comfort and performance. I am confident that after watching this episode, you will be able to overcome many of your problems by finding solution in the right places. First and foremost, it's essential to distinguish between what constitutes a problem and what considered as normal. Comfort, speed, long distance riding, or performance are all relative concepts. What might be highly uncomfortable for you could be effortless for someone else, or a position you think is fast might be considered slow by someone with better conditioning. You may consider 40, 50, 60 kilometer rides as long for cyclists who regularly cover 200-300 kilometers. These distances could be considered short. Hence, you should always make comparisons with yourself, avoiding comparing with other cyclists and seeking advice if you are unsure about your and their experiences. Bicycles in general are not designed for luxuries or comfort, and you shouldn't expect to feel like sitting on a couch at home while riding. Even sitting in the same position on a couch for 15-20 minutes can become uncomfortable as well. What matters is that everything you feel should be sustainable, not causing pain and not leading to a long-term issue. Because believe me, even professional athletes may encounter issues at really low level occasionally and they can sustain their ride with them. Okay, then let's get started. First, I want to address the most common complaint of every cyclist, which is the saddle issue. Drawing from my 10 years of experience as a bike fitter, I must say that about 90% of the problems related to your saddle can be resolved by adjusting how your saddle is installed. Its angle, forward and backward position, and height is very important. The remaining 10% is related to the saddle not being suitable for your riding style and ergonomics and the other things. Here, I'm not just talking about the saddle's width, as there are many other factors that determine its suitability, such as shape, padding, and its intended use. These aspects are quite detailed and would make another video topic. To make sure you don't miss it, consider to subscribe now and turn on the channel notifications. Of course, to find a saddle that matches your anatomy and riding style, you must first ensure that your current saddle is properly adjusted. Simply buying or borrowing different saddles randomly and trying them on your bike won't help you to find right fit. Each saddle has its own ergonomics, and you should adjust your settings accordingly and then try it out. Otherwise, you will be wasting your time and wasting your money. Remember, even you have the most comfortable car, if you don't adjust your seat according to your preferences, you won't feel comfortable on it. Now, what I'm about to explain will help you diagnose your problems, I believe. If you feel pressure on your bones, it's likely your saddle height is incorrect. If saddle is too high, it can create a tension, or if it's too low, it may put excessive amount of weight on the saddle. If you constantly feel like you are sitting in front edge of the saddle, it's probably too high again, and your body compensates by sliding forward. You can fix this by checking the height rather than moving your saddle forward. Similarly, if you constantly feel need to tilt your saddle down, it might be too high. Lowering the saddle height and adjusting the angle will likely solve both hand, shoulder, neck, and discomfort, and as well as saddle issues. If you constantly slide backward on your saddle, it may be tilted too much down, and in this case, you can lower the saddle and adjust the angle. However, if the saddle is not tilted down and its height is already ideal, the width of the saddle may not sufficient for you and you should consider a wider or a different geometry saddle. If you experience irritation between your legs, especially on both sides, the saddle might be too wide and causing your body shift forward and leading you irritation. Alternatively, if the saddle is too high, the excessive side-to-side movement can cause friction. If the irritation is only on one side, you may have significant body asymmetry. Your saddle height and or selection may not be suitable, causing on one side work harder or bear more weight on the one side and cause asymmetrical saddle sores and pain. If you feel pressure in the front of the saddle, your handlebar might be too far and too low. Leaning forward and reaching too much might cause discomfort on the front of the saddle. After making all these adjustments, make sure your saddle is suitable to you and your riding style. Avoid excessively wide or soft saddles. Next on the list are complaints about knee, lower back, shoulder, neck, and wrist pain. First of all, there could be several reasons for these complaints. However, after correctly adjusting the saddle and handlebar positions or ensuring they are close to the correct positions, you can narrow down the list and make a more accurate diagnosis. Nonetheless, for guidance, consider the following tips. If you experience pain in the front of your kneecap, your saddle might be too low. If the pain is at the back of your knee, the saddle could be too high. If you feel pain below or on the inside of your kneecap, which called patella, your saddle might be too low or too forward. Alternatively, your gears might be too heavy, so try reducing the gear size and increasing your cadence. Pain on the inner side of your knee when you open your leg, means like the bottom of the stroke, could indicate that your saddle is too high, your cleat float might be excessive, pedal stance width might be too wide. If you feel pain on the front side of your knee, your saddle might be too far forward. And if you feel it on the back side, the saddle might be too far back. But remember, when adjusting your saddle, always start with the saddle height. And keep in mind that changing saddle height may also require adjustments in the forward and backward position of your saddle. Lower back pain caused by the saddle being too low or too high might be felt on the side of your lower back, especially during hard rides. However, if the pain is related to your spine, it's likely due to the handlebar's reach and height. Pain on the sides of your knees is generally related to excessive pedal stance width or incorrectly adjusted cleat angles. Remember, your feet don't have to remain flat or at the same angle while pedaling. Your body is asymmetric, and what matters is maintaining a natural posture and being able to use your bike without forcing yourself stay in a rigid or predetermined position. If you are confident in your adjustments and someone tells you how your feet should be placed or how your knees should be, don't always take it to heart. Everyone's body is different, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach in the cycling. Now, let's talk about shoulder, neck, and hands. Two important factors are at play here. First, whether the adjustments are suitable for you, and second, your strength, endurance, and flexibility. If you are experiencing issues with both your lower back and trapezius muscles, it's likely caused by your handlebar is too far away from you or might be too low. If you have problems with your neck and it's related to your spine rather than trapezius, check the height adjustments of your handlebar. An excessively high or low handlebar can contribute to these issues. Hand issues can be related to your grip position. If you are experiencing tingling and numbness, it's likely due to your hand placement. If you experience direct pressure and numbness, check the weight distribution between your saddle and handlebar. Remember that excessively close handlebar can also cause issues with your hands, neck, and shoulders. So, don't rush to add handlebar risers or short stems just because your neck or back or shoulders hurt. Before I wrap this up, I must touch on a topic that many cyclists overlook, but it's the foundation of many complaints. Even with a proper bike fit, if you lack sufficient strength, endurance, or flexibility, and if your upper body is somewhat bulky and a little bit heavy, you may continue to experience issues. As your body fatigues, you tend to lean forward, which can lead to hand, shoulder, neck, and lower back problems. If you continue to experience complaints despite having a bike fit, unfortunately, you may need to take some responsibility and consider adding strength and flexibility training to your program. Weight loss might also be beneficial. Next on the list is foot problems, especially tingling, numbness, and sole pain experienced by cyclists using clipless pedals. As you know, each person's foot structure is unique, and even your right and left feet can be completely different. Therefore, you should pay attention to the shoe selection first. If you have both shoes that don't fit your feet properly, no matter what you do, you won't be able to solve your problems. Buying shoes that are too tight on the sides and going up one size or even two sizes just because they feel tight can be a mistake. Instead, opt for widening shoes rather than the ones you are trying to. Having shoes that are too small can be just as problematic as having shoes are too big. It can lead to improper positioning of cleats and cause the foot to move inside the shoe, creating different pressure points. Moreover, shoes that are too big may cause discomfort around the ankle and the upper part of the foot when the laces are tightened. Improper cleat positioning can lead to tingling in the toes and subsequent numbness in the feet. However, this is not usually the primary issue, so you shouldn't always blame your cleats if your feet tingle or go numb. Problems caused by shoes being too narrow usually start with tingling. Feeling strain on your ankles and calf muscles is generally due to excessive forward positioning of your cleats. Additionally, many people have varying degrees of pronation on their feet, which means the arch of the foot collapses downward. While cycling, this condition can be source of general foot pain, ankle and knee issues. Especially the pain felt on the outer edges of your feet is most caused by the pressure in that area due to pronation. Using proper foot beds can help for these issues. Furthermore, using cleat wedges and height stacks without understanding the true cause of your problem can lead to injuries and pain. So you shouldn't use them unnecessarily. I believe in this episode I have covered most of the problems that can arise from the rider, adjustment and the choices. In the next episodes, we will discuss complaints that arise from the mechanical preferences and adjustments. I hope that what I have explained in this episode has been helpful for you as well. If you think so too, you can show your support by liking the episode, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and sharing the episode with your friends to help me to reach more cycling enthusiasts. See you in the next episode. Stay safe and keep pedaling.